So with that, let's go ahead and get started in child's pose. So give yourself the moment to just settle into your space. First settling into the room, and then onto your mat, and then into your body, and finally into your breath. And as you hold child's pose, as often we'll start with just an awareness around the breath. Do so by creating a little bit of effort to lengthen your inhale enough that it feels as though your breath in is reaching all the way to your fingertips and your toe tips. And do that breath a few more times. Your inhale only getting fuller and longer, so that you feel this wave of expansion, just ever so gently drawing your fingers and your toes away from one another. And as you exhale, this gentle pull and softening into the midline. On your next inhale, rise all the way up and come right into a downward facing dog. And in your down dog, strengthen through the foundation of your arms with a squeeze into your forearms, hugging the forearms into the middle so you feel grounded through the base knuckle of your thumbs and your pointer fingers. As you squeeze your forearms together, engage your triceps and roll the heads of your shoulders away from your ears so the side body gets strong. Different than squeezing your shoulders in towards your neck and your spine. It's a rolling out to create space around the neck. And then go ahead and pedal push your heels. And as you do so, stay actively reaching one heel all the way up so you feel extension through your ankle, and the opposite heel all the way down so you feel length through your Achilles. One thing to note here in your down dog is that, and I think the tendency is to look back at the toes. And we can do that just to kind of check in with, how our feet are moving and what they look like really. But notice how that slightly overtucks your neck, right? So you're flexing your spine unnecessarily. And so if you need a quick check in with how the feet are moving, but then see if you can center your gaze somewhere like mid-mat so that your spine, your neck, is just as long as the rest of your spine. Shift forward into a high plank. Ground into your big toe ball mounds. And then reach your heels so far back towards the back of your mat that you feel length being drawn through your Achilles, through the back of the calves, maybe even through the back of the knees. Stay long on the sides of your neck and the crown of your head. And then push from the big toe ball mounds to reach your heels forward. Holds. Stay grounding down through the big toe ball mounds. And then slide your heels back like someone's pulling your heel bone to the back of your mat. One more time, shift your heels forward from the big toe ball mounds. Slide your heels all the way back. Shift forward, and then exhale slowly lower onto your knees, your stomach, and your chest. Toenails down on the ground. Forehead down on the ground. Extend your arms by your side. Push your toenails down and your palms down and your forehead down to feel the back body contract. And then squeeze your shoulder blades together to lift your hands up. Lift from the strength of your back of your neck without stretching your chin forward. So your gaze is down, the back of your neck is long. Now push your toes, all 10 of your toes, into the floor. Keep pushing down the tops of your feet to curl up. Breathe. 3 big breaths. See if you can lengthen out even your pinky toe. Ground the pinky toe, ground the tops of your feet, quads engaged. 1 more breath, extend the spine. Exhale, release all the way back down. Plant your palms flat on the mat. Push yourself up to your knees. Tuck your toes. And then sit back, hips to heels. Okay, so we're going to be working a lot on feet and ankles and foundation today. And to be completely transparent, already doing that pose, I got a major cramp in my foot. And so it's okay if that happens to you throughout this class, if muscles kind of tense up and you feel weird things. It usually, can happen when we're working our bodies in ways that we haven't before. So toes flexed, let the weight of your hips anchor down into your heels. If this is too intense for you, you can still get the stretch through the soles of your feet by bringing your hands down onto the ground. And that'll be just a little less weight that you have to bear. If you're lifted, notice if you have a reaction by shrugging your shoulders up towards your ears or clenching somewhere in your face, and just soften for a few more breaths. Soften until it feels like the whole weight of your body is dropping into your heels. And not only that, but that base knuckle of the big toe, that base knuckle that over time can get really stiff for a lot of people, is now what we're creating a lot of flexion in. Waking up that joint. Squeeze your heels together if they're splaying out really wide. Take just a couple more breaths. Soften the grip of your toes if they're curling up. 1 more big breath. And then lift yourself off of your feet. Move your feet around and bring your toenails down to the mat. So the tops of your feet are on the mat, your ankles are extended. Walk your hands back behind you and float your knees up off of the mat. Your knees may not move, but it's okay. Sometimes it's just like a thought can help to trigger sensation, right? So if you can lift your knees, if not, just think about lifting your knees and see what happens. Maybe you lift your knees and you're open and balanced enough on your ankles that you can bring 1 or both hands to your chest. 3 breaths here. Full breaths. So it's like your breath is going and exploring all the space that you're creating. 1 more big breath. And then exhale, roll forward onto your shins. Plant your palms. Extend your legs. Come out into a plank pose, just so you're able to judge the distance between hands and feet as you shift back to downward facing dog. And strong hands. Look at your pointer fingers. They should be parallel to one another. Grip the mat with your fingertips so your palms have a lot of muscles in them. Use them. Grip and squeeze the mat. Hug your forearms together so that the muscles around the base knuckle of your thumb are strong. And roll the heads of your shoulders away from your ears. Lift your heels up high. Your feet are hip distance apart. And then roll your heels to the right and see if you can land on the edges of your feet, even if the soles of your feet can touch. Land on the edges. Push down through the pinky edge side of your right foot and lift your outer right hip a little bit higher. Strong arms. Now, from the strength of your feet like steering wheels, can you roll your heels and hips up to center neutral? And then drop your heels over to the left, grounding down onto the edges of your feet. Push through the pinky edge side of your left, the big toe side of your right. Lift your hips a little bit higher. Reach through your toes towards the floor, gripping the mat as you curl your heels all the way up through center. Heels high, and then tiptoe your feet all the way up towards your hands. As you do, see if you can keep your palms flat and make more space by pushing the earth away and sucking your belly in and up. And at the top of your mat, just separate your feet out hip distance and grab opposite elbow in ragdoll pose. Start by moving your hips around. Move your hips into all different areas of your feet. So a little fun fact about the feet is that the feet have more nerve endings per square inch than any other place in your body. And just think about all this information that's available for us, all of these information collectors. So it's like right now, as you roll around and place weight into all those different areas of your feet, you're waking up the ability to gather more information of your place on your mat, of your foundation and what you're standing on. And once you feel like you've evened out the weight, woken up all the areas of your foot, then let your upper body just sway side to side. Full breaths that lengthen from your heels to the crown of your head. Release your hands all the way down to the ground. Toe heel your feet touch. And then slowly push your feet down as you roll up. Can you make the connection between your feet pushing and your upper spine lifting, your feet pushing and the crown of your head lifting? It's all connected. Feet pushing to reach your arms up towards the ceiling, mountain pose. Soften your knees. Grab onto your right wrists with your left hand. Sweep your right leg behind you and see if you can ground onto the pinky edge side of your right foot. Even if you can touch the whole sole of your foot down, curl it up so you're just on that pinky edge side. Now push into the pinky edge side as you lean your hips to the right and hands up and over to the left. Make this foundational connection. That pinky edge side of your right foot is supporting the right side of your body. Take one more deep breath. Ground even more weight into your left foot. Push it down so you can sweep your right leg back up to center and then switch sides. Take your left wrist with your right hand. Bend your knee so you have a little bit of mobility. Shift some weight into your right foot and then reach with your left toes all the way out. Active toes, ground the pinky edge side of your foot onto the mat. Push down as you lift up and over. And make the connection between the pinky edge side of your left foot grounding down and your left fingers lengthening. Let your mind's eye trace that long line, all the space between those 2 points. And then shift weight into your right foot, push it down, balancing as you push down and lift up through center. Both feet flat. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Look down at your feet. Bring the pinky edge sides of your feet parallel to the outer edges of your mat. Spread your toes out as wide as you can. And then hands to your heart and close your eyes. And I just want you to explore one more time the soles of your feet, but very specifically now, can you place weight into the pinky toe ball mound? So right underneath the base knuckle of your pinky toe. Shift some weight there. Roll weight back right into the middle of the heel. Like, can you feel your left and right heel bone equally pushing down? And then bring a little bit of weight into both right and left big toe ball mound. Now, equal out the weight. Right big toe ball mound, left big toe ball mound, middle of your heel, so you have this triangle of your foot that's holding your foundation balanced. Push those 3 points down and lift through the crown of your head. Take a big breath in, stretch your arms all the way up. With an exhale, keep pushing those 3 points down as you forward fold over your leg, hands and heads drop. Halfway lift, breathe in, lengthen your spine. Plant your palms and step to the back of your mat. Hold here, reach your heels towards the back of the mat. And then push from the big toe ball mounts to move your whole upper body forward. Bend your elbows, low plank. Upward facing dog. Bring the tops of your feet down as you curl your chest up. And then flip your feet to lift your hips up to downward facing dog. And gaze is mid-mat unless you're just glancing for distance of your feet. Take a breath in. And a full breath out. One more breath in. Exhale, look forward. Step your feet to your hands. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Rise up to stand. Ground those 3 points of the foot down. Lift up tall. Exhale, bring your hands together at your heart. Push down and reach up, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Step back to high plank and pause. Lengthen your heels back. From the toe ball mounds, you push your whole body forward, low plank. Upward facing dog. Ground the tops of your feet and all 10 toenails. Curl your feet to downward facing dog. Breathe in, breath out. Again, inhale fills the whole body from fingers to toes. Exhale, look forward, step or hop to your hands. Halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Rise up, mountain, push your feet down, reach tall. Hands together at your heart. Inhale, mountain pose, ground the feet. Exhale, forward folds. Halfway lift, breathe in. Step back to high plank, no rush. Reach your heels back from the heels. From your toes, shift your chest forward, low plank. Toenails down, upward facing dog. Ground the tops of your feet. Curl your feet under, downward facing dog. Keep your heels reaching down to lift your hips up. Even when the heels aren't touching or the parts of your feet aren't touching, can you still get a sense of creating foundation? Now, stretch your right heel straight up towards the ceiling so that your hips stay level to one another. Squeeze your right heel up higher and kick your heel back as you pull your toes towards your face. So just flex your foot. As you reach back through the middle of your heel bone, can you feel the strength of your right inner thigh and right glute supporting that reach and lengthening? Lift up a little bit higher. Curl your right knee in towards your chest. Now lift your left heel to bring you forward into a one-legged plank. Hold. Extend the right leg back and up. Reach your left heel to the ground, three-legged dog. Reach back through your heel all the way until your right knee straightens that last little inch. Curl your right knee towards your chest. Lift your left heel high and push off the left big toe ball mount to shift forward into one-legged plank. And one more time, reach your left heel down, three-legged dog, right heel up. Lift your left heel, curl your right knee in. Stay strong on your left big toe ball mound. That's the foundation for you to step forward between your hands. Drop your left knee down. Curl your heart all the way up. Left toenails down on the ground, ankle extended, breathe in. Exhale, straighten out your right leg, half split, flex your toes towards your face. Bend into your right knee, inhale, curl your heart up. Exhale, half split, straighten your leg, flex your toes. One more time, bend your knee. Push your foot down as you lift your chest. Come into your half split, hold your half split, point your toes without moving your whole body, just point your foot. Then flex your toes towards your face without shifting your whole body back. So you're isolating the ankle, point your toes and flex. One more time, point and flex. Now circle your foot once slowly to the right, so slow that maybe you even hear a little pop or crack. And then one time slowly to the left, circling all the way around, sweeping your toes to touch the top of the mat. Flex your foot back through center. Continue to walk yourself back. Flex your left toes under. Sit down onto your left heel. Good. Just one-legged toes pose. Curl your heel right under your sit bone so it's not splaying off to the side, but it's right underneath you. Take a deep breath in. Flex your right toes as well. Hinge forward over your right leg. Stretch your arms as far forward as they can go. Now push down through your left big toe ball mound into the mat to firm up your left leg. Curl your right toes back towards your face. And from your feet pushing into the floor and into the air, the right foot, can you lengthen your spine? I know it's a long space between the two, but see if you can find that space of strong foundation and then being able to pull length into your chest. One more breath. Bend into your front knee. Keep your left toes tucked. Lift your left knee up and reach your right arm all the way up towards the ceiling. And hold here. Ground into the big toe ball mounds of your right and left foot. Squeeze your inner thigh together. So those big toe ball mounds are magnetically drawing towards one another to create a strength for your inner thighs. From there, you twist around it from deep in the belly and through your chest. Now roll onto the pinky edge side of your left foot. Hold. Roll onto the pinky edge side of your right foot. If you can't quite make that, slide your foot back halfway down your mat, your right foot, that is. You're on the pinky edge side of both of your feet. Can you ground into your left foot, lift your hips, and stretch your right arm over your right ear? Now slowly keep pushing that pinky edge side of your left foot down as you lower your hips towards the mat. Stretch your right arm to the back of your mat. Good. Hold there. You're still pushing down with the pinky edge side of the left foot and your left hand, even though you're lowered. Then ground, and from those points, can you lift your hips and stretch your right arm all the way up and over your head? Do it one more time. You're gradually increasing the weight as your body lowers, but you stay strong through the pinky edge side of the left foot. Lower and holds. Push the earth away with the left hand. Then ground. All the movement comes from the strength of the periphery of your left leg, starting with that pinky edge side. You lift all the way up and over. Take a deep breath. And then roll your left heel up towards the ceiling. Turn your right toes to 12 o'clock. Plant your palms. Step back, downward facing dog. Okay. Shift the weight side to side. Maybe giving your left wrist just a tiny bit of reprieve as you shift weight into your right hand, but stay strong through your forearms and through your quads. Stretch your left heel straight up towards the ceiling. Flex your foot towards your face. Lift the heel up and kick your heel back even farther so it's one long line from the whole posterior chain. This is where you'll start to get that sense that like moving your feet can help move your head in a certain direction, right? Lift your heel higher and you feel the strength go maybe up towards your glutes. And now lift your left heel up, and as you do, strengthen. Nope, that's your right heel lifted up. As you lift your right heel, strengthen up your right quad. Curl your left knee in towards your chest, but stay strong in your right leg, shifting forward into one-legged plank. From your left heel, kick back, three-legged dog. Reach the left heel back, lower your right heel down. Right heel lifts. Curl left knee in towards your chest. Right leg stays strong as you shift forward. Kick back, three-legged dog. Lower your right heel, reach and extend through your left heel. Last time, right heel lifts. Strengthen your right quad. Pull your left knee in towards your chest. Keep your heel up towards your glutes. Place your foot with control between your hands. Drop your right knee down. And then let your right toes untuck. Melt your hips forward, lift your heart. Straighten out your leg into half split. Bend into your knee, low lunge, inhale. Half split, straighten, flex your toes to face. One more time, bend, push your left foot down. From there, lift your spine a little taller. And then half split and hold your half split. Isolate the ankle so it's the only thing that moves, the ankle and the foot, as you flex and point. Now, of course, your shin, your knee might move a little bit, but just start with the goal of moving only the ankle and your foot so you can minimize the other movement. Keep your foot flexed. Circle once to the left. Can you rotate just the ankle and not so much to the shin and knee? And then reverse it, go to the right, roll through your ankle. Flex your left toes toward your face, tuck your right toes under. Continue to walk your hands back so you're sitting on your right heel. So just one toes pose. If it's too intense, hopefully you figured out an alternative on the other side or you just sat in it. If not, you can bring your toenails down. Okay. So notice the difference. This happens a ton with our feet, with a lot of postures, because we just tend to like dump the body weight and we get grounded because we have things touching the floor, right? But notice like you're with your right foot. You can stay in this posture, most of you, and not really engage any strength in the foot. Yeah, it's possible. But can you push into the foot, push down into that right big toe ball mound? Flex your toes towards your face. See how that lifts the whole left knee and quad. And from there, maybe you shift the energy of the pose by reaching your arms farther forward. Hold. It's going to be work either way. It's either work in the joints or it's work for your muscles. Take 2 more big breaths. One more big breath. Stay actively through your feet, reaching down, pulling back. And then think of your left foot leading the way. It pulls your whole upper body forward into a low lunge. Right hand down, left arm up in a twist. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee up off of the mat. Pause there. Squeeze your big toe ball mounds together, like the left heel even drags back and the right big toe pulls forward. Find that movement all the way up to the pelvis. And then rotate deep from the belly, deep in the core twist until your shoulders are stacked. Now roll onto the pinky edge side of your right foot. Immediately when that outer heel touches, you're pushing it down and strengthening your outer hip. Curl onto the pinky edge side of your left foot. If this is too much for the hip joint, you slide your foot back to mid-mat and you stay here. Okay, I actually like the modification in this pose. It just feels better for me. So squeeze your inner thighs together by grounding into those little slivers of your foot. Stretch your left arm all the way up and over. And now keep pushing down through that pinky edge side of your right foot as you lower your hips. Keep pushing your right hand down too so your right arm stays strong. Reach back. Breathe here. Notice if you're collapsed in the joints. It'll be work, but for me this feels like not a great work in my wrist. Pushing down is work, but I'm building strength in my tricep and shoulder socket. Ground into the pinky edge side of your right foot. Lift all the way up and over. Lift your hips. Engage your outer right hip. And then keep pushing down as you slowly lower, reach back to the back of your mat. One last time, lift all the way up. Reach your bicep over your ear. And then from your feet, you're going to untwist. Curl your right heel towards the ceiling. Turn your left toes towards the front of your mat. Place your left hand down. Downward facing dog. Wiggle out your toes. Bend your knees one at a time. Take a deep breath. Look forward. Step or hop to your hands. Halfway lift. Breathe in. Forward fold over straight legs. Rise up. Mountain pose. Ground your feet. Remember those 3 points of your feet as you reach up. See if there's equal weight in all 3 points. Lift a little taller from there. Keep your arms reaching high. Now shift weight just into the 3 points of your right foot. Strengthen your right leg as you push those 3 points down. Curl your left knee up towards your chest. Stay active in your left foot so it's not this dead, uncontrolled weight dragging your whole body out of posture, but point your toes up in the direction you want your whole body to lift. Imagine that left foot is like the steering wheel for your whole body. Send your left heel back as your upper body tips forward. Reach through your heel. Keep reaching back through your left heel. Push your right foot down. Push your right foot down and strengthen up your right leg. Now feel both feet equally pushing into the floor and into the air. Keep grounding through the feet as you rise back up. Draw your left knee in towards your chest. Ooh. Big breath. Curl your knee up nice and tall. Push through your right foot. Lift taller. Extend your left leg out in the air. Twist over your left leg with no hands. If you can't hold this, bend your left knee. If you need a little bit more support and you want to stay in the pose, right hand to left knee. Breathe. Flex your left toes. Notice the right leg. Notice your right foot, the sole of your foot. Create foundation. One more breath. If you have your right knee or your left knee, reach your right hand forward. Send your left leg back. We're going to half moon, but I want you to go like at a sloth's pace. Reach left foot back. Keep reaching the left foot back with strength that your upper body can just float forward. Now ground into your right big toe ball mound. Ground into your right heel. Strengthen up your leg from there. Wake up your left toes again and turn your left toes so much so that it rotates your left knee, your left hip. Stay anchored through the right big toe ball mound. Take one more big breath. Bend your right knee. Reach your left toes. Float back to a long warrior two. Straighten out your right leg and reverse your warrior. Push into the right big toe ball mound. Get a little bit longer. One more breath. Lengthen right big toe ball mound through your pinky finger. Keep your legs as they are just to bring your hands back to warrior two. And then windmill your hands. Left hand up. Rotate your left heel to the ceiling as you bend your right knee. Keep pushing your feet down to twisting low lunge. Left hand grounds. Right arm lengthens up towards the ceiling. Roll onto the pinky edge side of your feet. We've been here before. Remember to ground and anchor into the feet. Holds. Keep pushing the pinky edge side of your left foot down as you step back into side plank so both feet are stacked. If your right leg feels longer, it's because it's not engaged. Flex your toes. Flex the pinky edge side of your foot up towards your face until it pulls your whole right thigh bone into your hip socket. Now curl your right heel towards your right glute. Point your toes. Keep reaching through your right big toe until you make contact with the ground. From there, root and turn your whole hips and heart towards the ceiling. Full breath. One more breath. Come back onto the pinky edge side of your left foot. Peel your right foot off the ground as you anchor into the pinky edge side of your left foot. Side plank holds. Draw your right knee towards your chest. Right foot is flexed. Grab your right knee with your right hand. From your right foot, start to reach your right leg forward. Rotate left heel to the ceiling. Woo, crescent. Rise up tall. Strong legs. Big breath. Sweep your arms back. Airplane lift up. Now point your left toes back as you dive your chest forward. Left leg is foundation, even though it's in the air. Keep reaching up until you can go no farther until you bring your hands down onto the mat. Land in your standing split. Everybody, we're going to try something on. I'm in a very cramped space, so I promise if I can do it, I hope you can do it too. Plant your hands flat on the mat. No fingertips. Plant your palms flat. Straight, strong elbows, even if you need to bend your right knee to do so. Lift up through your left big toe, pointing it up towards the ceiling. Now, curl your right heel up. As you do, push your hands down, 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 right heel higher, right leg stronger. Lower your right heel, touch your left toes just to the ground. Give yourself a rest. One big breath. One more time, bring your hands closer to your right foot. Lift your left leg up, strong from your left big toe reaching. Curl your right heel up high. Take a big breath. Hop off your right toes. Strong left toes. 2 more times, hop off your right toes. Strong left toes, 1 more time, hop. Land with both feet together. Bend your knees. Utkatasana, chair pose. Uttanasana, forward folds. Separate your feet. Interlace your fingers at your low back. Let your knuckles reach to the ceiling. Take a deep forward fold, head heavy. Slow down your breath. Let the breath fill out your body. When your inhale reaches your feet, your head, and your fingers, maintain that fullness in your breath. Drop your hands to the ground. Slowly roll all the way up to stand. Push those 3 points of both feet down into the mat. Reach your hands up tall. Ground down. Lengthen up. Shift weight into your left foot. Keep your arms to the ceiling. Ground, big toe ball mound of your left foot, pinky toe ball mound, middle of your heel. Let that strengthen up your left leg. Draw your right knee towards your chest. Flex your right foot. Push your left foot down, lift up taller through your fingers. Make that connection from foot to fingers. It's all connected. 1 more breath. Now send your right heel back. Keep reaching forward. Right heel back, left heel down. Can you make a connection that the right foot is planted firmly, just as firmly as the left foot, but into air? Hold. Now right heel to fingertips lengthen. Rise up to stand. Draw your right big toe ball mound and right knee up towards the ceiling. Point your right foot as you extend your leg. Breathe in. Open arm twist to the right. Breathe out. Ground from left heel to your head. 2 more breaths. Remember your variations. I'm doing them up here on the screen if you don't remember. Bend your knee. Left foot to right knee. Stay strong in your left leg, whatever variation you're taking. Half moon pose, take your time, go this slow. 5. Sweep the right leg back. 4. Keep reaching through your right foot and left foot. 3. Tip over your left hip. 2. And land your left fingers ever so gently because there's more strength lifting up through the right leg. Now rotate your right toes as you ground into your left big toe ball mound. Rotate your right knee and right hip as you anchor the big toe ball mound. Kiss your shoulder blades to spine. Bend your left knee, point your right toes back like it pulls your whole body into a warrior 2. Land. Straighten out your left leg. Reach back. Reverse. Keep getting longer. Stay strong through your right foot and right leg here. 1 more breath. Slow cartwheel. You're coming into a low lunge, but I want you to move from your feet. Bend your left knee. Rotate your right heel up towards the ceiling. As you do, push the right big toe ball mound down. Keep pushing your left foot down so that you have stability to just float right hand to the mat. Left arm up towards the ceiling. Roll onto the pinky edge side of both feet. Ground the pinky edge side, especially of your right foot. Stack your feet side plank. Curl all 10 toes towards your face. Let that strengthen up to the outer hips. Draw your left heel towards your left glute. From the left big toe, can you flip your whole body, turning it towards the ceiling. Good, and then ground. Ground into the left big toe, ball mound to support the whole back body foundation of this pose. Front body opens even more with another breath. Come back into side plank. Push through the right hand. Anchor into the pinky edge side of the right foot. Draw your left knee in towards your chest. Grab it with your left hand. Rotate your right heel towards the ceiling to step forward into crescent warrior. Push down, rise up tall. Sweep your arms back. Lift your right leg up. Airplane. Keep going down to standing split. Feet, feet, feet. How are your feet helping you in this pose? Push down and reach up. Push down and reach up. And once you need the support, use your hands, hands to the ground. Good, everyone, take a big breath. You're holding your what are you holding? Your standing split. If you don't want to do the hops, plant your palms. Lift your right toes higher. Lift your left heel higher. Strengthen up your arms. Start by just holding here. Can you lift your heel by drawing your navel in? And then just drop your heel, drop your foot. Take a moment, just completely soften into the support of the ground. Let go of muscular engagement. Big breath. Okay, right leg lifts. Reach through the right toes. Ground into strong arms with straight elbows. Lift your left heel up so high that your shoulders stack over your big wrist, just your wrist actually. They're not big, they're normal. Okay, take a big breath. Tiny hop. 3 more, inhale. Exhale, hop. 2 more, inhale. Exhale, hop. 1 more, inhale. Just a hop. Land with both feet together. Bend your knees. Utkatasana, sit low. Rise all the way up to stand by pushing those points of your feet down. Go up and back slowly. Up and back. Think about growing taller first. Squeeze your glutes slightly back. And then exhale, release your hands to your heart. 1 hand on your heart. 1 hand on your stomach. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Allow your awareness to internalize. Listen into the foundation that exists in the rhythm of your heart and the movement of your breath. Take 1 more breath. Open your eyes. Reach up tall, mountain pose. Exhale, forward folds. Halfway lift, breathe in. Step back into high plank. Pause in your high plank. And now float your right foot off of the ground and point your right toes. Keep it like that to low plank. Now left foot stays flexed to up dog. Keep your right toes pointed. Left foot stays flexed. Right toes pointed. Strong arms. Downward facing dog. Ground your right foot. Shift forward into high plank. Point your left toes. Point, point, point. Keep your right foot strongly flexed. Bend your elbows to low plank. Upward facing dog. Ground into your left foot. Into the air. Shoulders away from your ears. Downward facing dog. Lift your hips. Drop your head. Extend your right leg up towards the ceiling. Bend your knee and open up your right hip. Full breath. Lift your left heel high, shift your shoulders slightly forward, draw your right knee in towards your chest, rounded spine. With control, place your right foot between your hands. Drop your left knee down to the ground. Bring your left toenails down to the ground. Look back at your left foot. Can you straighten out your left foot so it's not sickled, like the heel's melting out to the side? The whole top of your foot is anchored down. Bring your hands to your knees. Keep pushing down through the top of your left foot and left ankle. If you can't quite get it flat enough to where you don't feel stable, you can just hold in this pose and continue to work your ankle open. If you feel like the top of your ankle and top of your foot is grounded enough, can you push it down, lift your left knee, reach your arms up, hold. 3. Hold. 2. One more breath, strong from the feet, and then slowly lower your left knee all the way down. Place your hands down on the ground. Flex your left toes under, lift your left knee, take a long pyramid pose, and curl your right toes towards your face. Keep your left heel lifted high here. So right toes high, left heel high, and then from those 2 points, squeeze them together like your toes want to meet your right heel. Left toes to right heel to left toes to level the whole pelvis. Now lengthen your fingers forward and fold a little bit deeper. Take 3 big breaths. Strengthen up your left quad as you lift your left heel, bringing your left hip slightly forward in line with the right. And plant your right foot. Shorten your stance just a tiny bit. Reach your left heel down and then twist your right arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Big breath. Untwist. Step back. Lengthen your stance to downward facing dog. Let your head drop heavy. Gaze is mid-mat, strong arms. And then sweep your left leg up towards the ceiling. Open up your hip. Actively reaching through your left toes, like they're pointing in the direction that you want your whole left knee and hip to go. Lift your right heel. That helps to shift your shoulders forward for mobility. And then curl your left knee in towards your chest. Stay strong with the right heel lifted. Keep your left heel almost touching your left glute. Place your left foot between your hands and drop your right knee down to the ground. Right toenails come down to the mat. Maybe you need to glance and look that your foot and ankle are in one straight line. Maybe you can just kind of feel it out. Spread your right toes down on the mat. Bring your hand up to your knee. Again, you have to be the judge of this, okay? If you feel like you need to still work on extending your ankle and opening it up so you don't feel much of the surface of your foot and ankle touching, I would just stay here. If you feel stable, you want to give it a try, then ground down through both feet, the top of the right foot, the bottom of your left. Reach your arms up, strong legs. Hold. 3, 2, straighten your right knee even more. One more breath. With control, you lower your right knee down to the ground. Place your left hand or both hands down on the mat. Lift your right knee up. And then keep the right heel lifted as you flex your left toes towards your face. Ground your left heel down and drag it to the back of your mat. Lift your right heel high to strengthen your right leg and pull your right toes forward. See if that can shift your whole pelvis into level. Keep strengthening from feet up your legs to your hips and then lengthen from your spine to your fingers. Breath big enough to touch every part of your body in this pose. Shorten your stance just a tiny bit. Right hand down, left hand twists. Push your feet down to lift your chest away from the ground. Squeeze your heels together so you know where midline is, and then you can twist around it with your upper body. Big breath to lengthen. Exhale, hug into the inner thighs and twist. Place both hands down on your mat. Downward facing dog. Step back. Come all the way down onto your knees. Keep your feet flexed. Reach your hips back towards your heels. Pushing down through your hands. Stretch your heels back and slide your arms forward, but stay active. One more breath. Curl yourself all the way up, and you're just going to very simply come onto a seat and bring your feet forward. Scooch towards the top of your mat so that you have space to extend your legs, and slowly roll all the way back. Roll down for 5, 4. Imagine your feet pushing into a wall so they're still anchoring you so that you can lengthen as you roll down. 2 and 1. Stretch your arms back. Point your toes forward. Big breath in. Draw your right knee in towards your chest. Grab behind your knee and extend your right leg up towards the ceiling. Point your toes and flex. Point and flex. Point and circle your ankle in one direction. Circle it in the other. Good. Hold your leg up towards the ceiling. Point your toes. Reach your arms out to cactus arms or a T. And then from your right foot, can you reach your right toes all the way to the left? Keep reaching through your toes until you feel your whole lower body twist, pelvis stacks. Lengthen through your toes. Good, and then soften into the twist. You can keep your legs straight, or you can bend your right knee and grab onto your right knee with your left hand. Good. From the right leg, extend it first on the ground. Right leg lifts up. Keep lifting the right leg up to roll your pelvis back to center, but imagine your right thigh bone is pushing down, grounding into the hip socket so that you feel it anchored when you come back to center. Bend your right knee in towards your chest. Give it a squeeze. Extend your right leg. Extend your arms. Hug your left knee in towards your chest. Grab behind your knee and lengthen out your left leg to the ceiling. Point and flex. Point. Flex. One more point, and then circles in a certain direction. Reverse the direction. Keep your foot pointed. Reach your arms out. Stay strong with your left leg. And again, make the connection that your foot, your strong foundation, can be in charge of the whole body as you twist. Keep reaching, 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 reaching until your left hip is on top of your right. And then land in the twist. Chest parallel to the ceiling, both shoulder blades grounded. Lengthen out your left leg and then stretch your left leg up towards the ceiling. At the same time, you're pushing the left thigh bone down to ground into the left hip sockets. Back to center. Hug both knees in towards your chest. Give a little rock side to side and circle both feet. Flex and point. Extend both legs up towards the ceiling. And I'm going to be honest, in like 10 years of teaching, I literally have never taught this. I've done this a lot, but I've never taught it. So welcome to my first time teaching this pose. Extend your arms up towards the ceiling. You might have done it before. You just kick and wave your arms. I feel like it feels very appropriate for this moment. Kick and wave your arms. Kick and wave your arms. Let your feet just flutter. Loosen up your ankles. Go for 3. Go for 2. for 1, squeeze into a tiny ball if it feels good, forehead to knees. And then extend your arms, extend your legs, let your feet fall away from one another. Palms turn up towards the ceiling. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And then loud enough that your neighbors hear, breathe out. One more time. Inhale through your nose. Big sigh out. Soften. Soften your big toe. Notice and soften your second toe, third toe, pinky toe. Relax the soles of your feet. Big toe ball mound, pinky toe ball mound, and heel. The entire bottom of your foot relaxes. The entire top of your foot relaxes. The whole foundation of your body relaxes, and let that send signals to the rest of the body as you take a few breaths here. Signals of release, of ease. Stay just where you are for as long as you need to continue to receive this message from your foundation that you have the capability in this space to let go of all of the work and all of the energy, even if for just one moment. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.